Hughes Retirement Group. All right, we have a lot of questions for Granger Hughes. Granger Hughes joined us today with the Hughes Retirement Group. My friend Granger, oh my goodness. Let's talk about how emotions can impact our financial decisions. But first, let me just ask you personally, the last 48 hours in your world, how has it been for you and your team?
It's not been terrible. I mean, it's kind of coincided with our quarterly reviews we have with clients anyways, so being able to have those conversations. But most of our clients we've positioned in such a way that, they're able to partake if the markets are rebounding, but they're not, losing their shirt, so to speak,
Sure.
if the markets do go south.
Sure. Yeah. And Granger, we were talking about this in the green room. What I love about this and that viewers, you've got young families, you've got young individuals, you've got folks that are retired,
Right.
a lot of folks that are retired, you've got folks that are looking at retirement in the next 6 months. Mm-hmm. With seeing the markets here in the last, since yesterday morning for sure, what should we do? We talk about knee jerking, we talk about waiting it out.
Yeah.
What's your advice?
Well, I mean, look, the markets historically have come back. You and I were talking about that. We don't want to have a knee-jerk response. That being said, everybody is in a different situation. So if you are approaching that retirement red zone, so to speak, you might want to look at your situation a little bit differently. And, one of the things you and I have talked about in the past on previous shows is the markets may end the year on a positive, but during the middle of the year, we're still having to take distribution. So if we don't position our portfolios properly, even throughout the year, we could be taking losses and compounding losses that somebody who is 30 or 40 maybe is not experiencing because they're not, touching their 401k or traditional IRAs. So I think looking at that going forward, it's a good opportunity to assess really where you are from a risk tolerance standpoint. Because I think we can fall in love with the idea of the markets trending in an upward trajectory, but when they go south, they can go south, and all of a sudden your risk profile, your risk tolerance that you thought maybe was the case, maybe is not.
Yeah. What are some folks? What are they asking you and your team?
They're obviously want to know what's going to happen with the tariffs.
Because the thing is, financial advisors, you guys don't have a crystal ball.
Right. We don't have a crystal ball, but I mean, look, tariffs are part of it. This happened in 2018, if you remember, and the markets kind of shed about 5 points, and then 2019 it came back and they recovered to around 30%. So there's some decoupling going on where we're trying to decouple ourselves, from certain countries in the sense of relying on them. There's some negotiation there, obviously some leverage. There's an imbalance from a trade standpoint. So we're more of a a consumer-driven economy where I think we're looking to kind of produce more things back home, and that there's going to be some turbulence. It's not going to be a fun conversation globally. People are typically not going to respond, hey, yeah, we're going to get to pay more money. So there's going to be some turbulence there, but I think you've also got some things like tax cuts and things of that nature coming down the pipeline as well that could kind of balance that out. But there is some uncertainty in the markets, and the markets do not like uncertainty.
Yeah, and Granger, you mentioned history. Looking at history can provide comfort. Looking at the markets the last 150 years,
right?
Where things where markets have crashed, but they've always recovered, and they've continued to grow, right?
Yeah, we've continued to reach all-time highs. I mean, you still see analysts out there saying they believe that the Dow can reach 50,000. I think 2026, 2027 are those target dates. So I think there still is optimism, but there probably is going to be some turbulence. So especially for those retirees, I mean, and James, we talk about this a lot, but most of our portfolios utilize a non-emotional, methodical, mathematical approach.
Right.
And if you let emotions get involved, that's when you start making bad decisions. You don't want to have those knee-jerk reactions. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't position your portfolio a little bit differently, but we don't want to have that reaction of, hey, all doom and gloom, I'm going to go to cash, because then we're in a situation where we're trying to time the markets, and it's just not a winning strategy.
Yeah. It feels terrible to do nothing while the market tanks.
Right.
And it's counterintuitive, right? We've got 30 seconds left. We just need to stay the course, right?
Yeah, stay the course, but definitely, get a look at your portfolio. Get a look at the risk that lies there, because you may be taking on unnecessary risks. So, give our team a call and go to our website, hughesretirementgroup.com. We'll be happy to sit down with you and take a look at your portfolio, test it, truly look at it from a statistical risk standpoint, and see if there's changes that need to be made.
Granger, you and your team are absolutely amazing. HughesRetirementGroup.com. We're all in this together. We appreciate you. Talk to you.